Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot, and today we are going to fly the TFDI MD-11 freighter for the first time. We are going to take off from Toronto over to Frankfurt on a good old Lufthansa cargo route, namely flight number 8161, which is a real-world flight leaving Toronto just past midnight and then landing in Frankfurt in the very late afternoon or the early evening. Now, I'd say we are, first of all, just going to board our aircraft over here, because, well, what can I say? It is rather loud out here, and looks like GSX made those stairs too steep. We can't actually walk them up. So, well, let's do it this way. This is probably much easier, isn't it? Alright, so here we are in the supernumerary area of our MD-11, and here we are in the flight deck. So let's go ahead and take a seat up here, and then the first thing we are going to do, as always, is to have a look into our flight plan. So let's start by doing that. Now, here's what our route of flight looks like. We're leaving Toronto northbound or northeastbound, and then across Canada, across the Atlantic, make a landfall in Ireland, across Britain, the Netherlands, into Germany. Now, for our significant weather chart, the initial part of the flight is pretty fine. Then over the Atlantic, it's mostly low-level stuff over here, but we are crossing a jet stream that's going to be pretty close to us. And then looking into the other side of the pond, well, that's where things are, again, mostly low-level. So if you just have a look at the high-level chart, you can see there's a little bit of turbulence, that area number 1 over here, across Ireland. But apart from that, it's mostly good weather conditions. So with that in mind, let's have a look into the airport weather. And departing Toronto, we have some light gusting winds, 15 knots. High clouds, temperature +4, altimeter 2952. And looking into our destination, Frankfurt, variable winds, clear skies, temperature 4 degrees. Overall beautiful weather. The general forecast tends to favor runway 25. So that's what we've planned, and overall good weather conditions. The same goes for our alternate in Hahn, where we've got Kavok, and then only during the night we are going to get some overcast. Apart from that, beautiful weather. Now looking into the flight plan, leaving Toronto at 0925 UTC, we are going to arrive in Frankfurt just about on schedule. We are not critical with any of our weights over here. Fairly low cruise levels, starting level 310, later on 33, and then finally 350. For our flight today, and then we can have a look down into the fuel plan, where we can see that our planned takeoff fuel is basically 70 tons plus taxi. 71 tons is the minimum we need to take. Now, I would like to take just about 1,000 kilos more over here, because we don't yet know how well the MD-11 performs on long-haul flights. So let's make it 72 tons of fuel, and then we are absolutely good to go. With that decision made, let's start the cockpit preparation procedure here, which is going to be a logbook checked, circuit breakers are all checked and in, emergency equipment is on board, weather radar is turned off, the fuel switches are all turned off, the park and brake can now be set, brake pressure is still okay down there. Alright, flap and spoiler handles are up, landing gear lever is down, then we got the fuel panel, we got the dump valve which is guarded, and the manifold which is guarded. Emergency power switch is in the off position, battery is on, external power is on. And well, it's pretty cold in here, so let's go ahead and run the fire test, which is good, and then we can start that APU. Alright then, while we're waiting for the APU to power up, let's go ahead and set our cockpit lights in here. So backlights, also want some of that stuff going, and then down here as well, a little bit of flight guidance system backlighting. Alright, that's looking better, isn't it? So, nav light coming on, logo light is coming on, and then we can have a quick look at the APU, which is well underway. Alright, continuing on, we got the IRSs 1, 2 and auxiliary. That's also going to conduct the cargo fire test, which is looking good, and looks like that APU is almost started now. Here we go, APU running. Let's go ahead and start the timer. Just give it a minute before we are actually going to load the APU with power. Now, going on into the Going on into the EFB then, let's go ahead and import our flight plan. Then we can go ahead and send that one to the FMC. And then we are going to set the payload, which today is going to be a zero fuel weight of 197,800. So let's type that in, 197,800. And then we need a fuel load of 72 tons as we had just set. Alright, like that. Then set payload please. Thank you very much, that's done. So let's go ahead and order GSX and prepare boarding, aka loading. You guys know what I mean. Alrighty, so that stuff is done. Then let's move down into the FMS, enter the IRS position down there. MD-11F, nav database up to date, that's all looking good, and initialize IRS. Alright, lovely. So with that, they should start loading the plane here. Let's go ahead and just arm the emergency exit lights real quick and have a very quick look at the back to see if they are already operating that cargo door. Yeah, they are. Alright, looking good. So the loading is well underway then. Then we can move back inside. By the way, can we open that door to the cargo hold? No, unfortunately not. We can move through it though. Okay, so here's our cargo hold, that's what it looks like. As you can see, full of containers, which kind of makes sense. Not completely full though. Again, which makes sense. So let's just get back into the cabin over here and right back into our flight deck. Alright, cool. Then let's go ahead and get started with our cockpit preparation. So flight recorder test is looking good. Temperature sensitive, yes, we definitely have some. And we just got to cool them as good as possible here. It's most likely going to be fish coming out of Canada. Ignition is off and supposed to be off. Hydraulic system test is now in progress. Alright, the air panel APU bleed can now come on so that we make it nice and warm in here. Bringing us on to the light panel. No smoking on, and seatbelt can remain off until we actually commence our engine start. Exterior lights are set, leading us on to the right hand side. GPWS test, we'll do it in the quick version. Refueling is complete, so we can reset the fuel used. Annunciator light test. Looking good, and let's actually go ahead and dim those lights. Alright, cool. So, QNH we set 2952. Like that. Traffic, airports, VORs left, right. The same on the opposite side. Like that. Standby instruments 2952. And we can erect that. Standby, please. Come on, keep going. Okay, looking good. Auto brake into the takeoff position. Then moving down, we need a couple of frequencies, so let's go ahead and grab our departure airport charts. Toronto, search, taxi, and here's the airport chart. Alright, so delivery 121.3. Gonna go active, then we got ground down here, so cargo west. I really got no idea which one it is, so let's just tune 19.1 and then we'll see if they give us something else. They give us something else, that's fine. Okay, 1 to 1.5. Active, and finally the ATIS is on 120825. Like that. Alright, so down here everything's done. You can go active over there as well. Alright, that's all looking good. Then let's go ahead and grab the ATIS and see which runways are active and all that good stuff.
Visibility 10. Sky conditions, scattered at 10,000 feet. Broken at 15,000 feet. Solid overcast at 19,000 feet. Temperature 4. Dew point -3. Altimeter 2952. Density altitude -200 feet. Room operations in progress near the FBO area. Advise on initial contact, you have information Mike. Toronto Lester B. Pearson International Airport, information Mike. 1900 Zulu. Arriving runways 23, 24 left. Departing runways 23, 24 right. Wind 180 at 8 gusting 15. Visibility 10. Sky conditions, scattered at 10,000 feet. Broken at 15,000 feet. Solid overcast at 19,000 feet. Temperature 4. Dew point -3. Altimeter 2952. Density altitude -200 feet. Room operate.
Alright, thanks. So the weather is on board, then I suppose we can go ahead and start our setup. They planned runway 23 for us, so I am kind of positive that that's what we're going to get. Alright, so Toronto to Frankfurt. Alternate is going to be in Han. Our flight number is Lufthansa Cargo 8161. Flight level 310, 330 and 350. Temperatures, what do we have? -54 initially. And a headwind, a tailwind of 28 knots. Okay, cost index 80. So far so good. Then let's go on to the next page. So contingency fuel 1.8, alternate fuel 3.4 and final reserve fuel 3.2. Like that. Alright, then let's go ahead. Toronto, sit, runway 23, and we are departing via the SADOC 6 departure. Here we go, SADOC 6, and looks like they got no transitions on that one, so we are just going to insert that. Alright, that continues towards Bopsu, and then let's go up to Frankfurt, and over here we're coming in from Dixat, so it's going to be an ILS approach. I guess ILS Yankee runway 25 right, Dixat 1 Alpha arrival, and Delta Fox 426 transition, insert. Here we go. Then let's go on to reference. We need a pilot-defined waypoint, and that's gonna be Yankee Yankee Zulu emergency. I really don't know. 5, 6, something like that. Let's call it 5, because why not? So, Charlie Yankee Yankee Zulu / what's the runway track? Let's cheat. 237. And 25 miles straight ahead. Enter. And that's our emergency waypoint. Then let's go on to the fixed page. And in here we got Yankee Yankee Zulu X-ray 5. Like that. Okay, cool. So from here let's go on to the performance. Transition altitude 18,000 is checked. Takeoff, we are going to do noise abatement procedure number 2 over here. So climb thrust and acceleration 1,600 each. Like that. Engine out acceleration 2,100. Like that. Okay, so far so good. Then we need to cross-check our standard instrument departure. So sit. Oh god, lots of them. SADOC 6 departure, runway 23, that's it. Okay, so transition altitude 18,000 is of course confirmed, unless otherwise instructed maintain 5,000. Okay, and runway 23, climb on runway heading 237 until 1100, right turn heading 245, and then we're going to proceed via Bisti, Namgi, Sedok, and in here we got 237, 1100, heading 245, Bisti, Namgi, Sedok. Yep, and from there towards Tangi, Utmuk, and Bopsu. And we got Tangi, Utmuk, Bopsu. Alright, that's all looking good. Perfect, then we've basically set our airplane up. One thing we forgot earlier is the emergency power switch, which should have gone to ARM, and then also executed the emergency power test. But I suppose we are not seeing that. Alright, so be it. We lived through worse. Okay, so... are they still loading? Yeah, the last pallet is just going in. Perfect. Then we have information Mike. Let's go ahead and collect our IFR clearance. So what are they called again over here? Toronto clearance. Toronto clearance, Lufthansa Cargo 8161 Heavy, request IFR clearance to Frankfurt with information Mike.
Clearance on request, stand by. Lufthansa Cargo 8161, cleared to Frankfurt via the CDOG-6 departure, radar vectors Bismarck T then as filed. Departure runway 23, initial climb to 5000, departure on 124.475 squawk 2146.
Lufthansa Cargo 8161 is cleared to Frankfurt via the CDOG-6 departure from runway 23, climb 5000 feet, departure 124.475 squawk 2146.
Lufthansa Cargo 8161, read back correct. Ground will be on 119.1.
119.1, Lufthansa Cargo 8161, bye-bye. Okay, runway 23, CDOG-6 departure, initially 5,000 feet, 124.475 is pre-selected, and squawk 2146. Like that. Alright, perfect, then we are good to go up here.
8161, Toronto ground. Not clear what you said. Say again.
Disregard. Oopsie, didn't mean to transmit on that frequency. Okay, good, so everything's pre-selected, everything is in, then let's just...
Cargo 8161, roger, disregard.
Clearing that scratch pad, let's go ahead and do our takeoff performance. Runway 23, full length, we'll import the weather, we'll import the weights, the packs can remain on. Alright, calculate. 56 degrees, flaps 17. Okay, so that's gonna be 57 degrees. The packs will be on. Flaps 17. 0 slope, 0 wind. Temperature 4 degrees Celsius. And then we have takeoff speed 142, 160, 171. Why is this not calculating anything? Ah, because we haven't inserted the weights yet. Okay, that makes sense. So let's start over here. 72 tons of block fuel is correct. I've got no idea why they say 517.9 kilos takeoff weight. Absolutely no idea. I have a suspicion though. Pounds. And with that, we only have half the fuel as well. Why on earth is this? I do not like that presetting of having everything in pounds. Alright, go back. So 197,800, and this time, why is this still in freedom units? Hey, didn't I press save? No, I did. Alright, this is better. Set payload. Load is over 100%. I don't think so. Zero fuel weight 310. Nope, there is something wrong. Alright, let's type that again. So, how much did we say we want? 197,800. Load is over one... What the... Hello? Ah, because that is the weight of the cargo, not the zero fuel weight of the airplane. So cargo is 85 tons. It would be easier if they just gave us the correct message. Okay, now we have 197.7. So let's first of all override this. And then zero fuel weight is 197.7. Okay, that's better. Gross weight 269.5. Then we can take the CG and we can take the zero fuel CG. Alright, now we probably have to redo the takeoff performance. So, get takeoff weight please. And also get that weather info and runway 23. Right, that's looking better, isn't it? Okay, calculate that again. Flex 36, flaps 23. So 36 degrees and flaps 23. This time I'm also not going to forget setting this. Here we go, flaps 23. Alright, now it's looking better. Speeds 57, 71, 78. Yeah, those are all within 1 knot, that's fine. Okay, good. Much better, isn't it? So, thrust limits, let's see. Flex takeoff is selected. And we can also climb 1, please. Alright, flex takeoff selected, climb 1 is selected. Very nice. Alright, then we are done setting everything up down here. 2952 is in here as well, looking very good. Alright, good. Then let's go ahead and start our takeoff briefing, please. CDOC 6, where is it? Doesn't matter, I just need the MSA. 3.1, good. So we're going to depart Toronto's runway 23, CDOC 6 departure, climbing altitude 5,000. The MSA is 3,100 feet and extra fuel and time. We loaded about 1.5 tons, giving us around 10 minutes extra. Now for the taxi, we got a hotspot in the runway crossing. Nothing significant, however, something to be aware of. So we are going to cross runway 15 left over here, which shouldn't be active according to the ATIS as far as I remember, but better safe than sorry. Okay, stop margin for rejected takeoff is probably only going to be a few meters. Engine outside straight ahead to the Toronto X5 point. Climbing 4,000 feet, which keeps us safe above the MSA of 3,100 feet. For our standard instrument departure, it's going to be on the radar vector, and eventually ATC will send us direct somewhere, climbing altitude 5,000 feet. Nothing special, nothing non-standard, and... do you see any threats? No? Alright, me neither, and that's our briefing complete. Cool, then we are done with everything up here, so we're operating on the APU. Let's get rid of that external power. So GPU disconnect, wheel chocks removed, doors are all closed. I like it. Prepare for pushback and departure, no de-icing. Alright, cockpit checklist. Gear pins removed, pedostatic checked, cabin signs. And now coming on. FCP set, speed band, 0 taxi, altimeters, QNH 29R52, reading 550, set left, set right. Fuel, 72,000 kilograms, system display status checked, system modes auto. Takeoff data inserted, auto brake. Takeoff. Takeoff warning. Checked, flap takeoff selector, 23, cockpit checklist complete. Toronto ground, Lufthansa cargo 8161, request pushback and startup.
Lufthansa cargo 8161, pushback and startup approved. Face northeast.
Pushback and startup approved, facing northeast, Lufthansa cargo 8161. Alright. Beacon, AUX 1. And transponder is already on. Good, before start, checklist please. Cabin secured, mobiles off, engine ignition, A, beacon on, system modes auto, park and brake set, before start checklist complete. Ground from cockpit. So, push and start are approved, facing northeast, and the park and brake is set. Roger, facing northeast, release park and brake. Park and brake released. Thank you, start on the pushback, stand by for engine start. Roger. Alright then, off we go. Start sequence is going to be 312, and we're ready to start engine number 3 as soon as you are. Roger, clear 3. Engine 3 start. And 2. That's 15%. I like those sounds. Alright, we have a good start on 3, starting 1. Clear 1. Must be a new pushback driver down here. Okay, pushback completed. Set park and brake, please. Park and brake set. Start a cutout. Monitor 1, starting 2. Engine 2 start. And 2. Oil pressure. And 1. Fuel flow. Ground flight deck, we have 3 good engine starts. You're clear to disconnect. Show me the pin on the left side, please, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. And there he is. Okay, good. APU off, windshield anti-ice is gonna come on. And that's it for now. Alright, he's leaving. APU, don't ask me, should be shutting down. Might have to do it up here. Actually, it was set to off already. Okay. And now it's shutting down. Good. After start checklist, APU off, anti-ice off, system modes auto, after start checklist complete. Lufthansa Cargo 8161, request taxi.
Lufthansa Cargo 8161, runway 23 taxi via Echo Bravo Echo Hotel Quebec.
Taxi to runway 23 via Echo Bravo Echo Hotel Quebec, Lufthansa Cargo 8161. So, Echo Bravo, Echo, Hotel, Quebec. Alright, we can do that. Clear on the left hand side, and clear on the right hand side. Lights are coming on, brake off. So, no config yet. Straight ahead, left turn out, and then a long turn straight ahead. Brake check. Brakes okay. Right side clear, left side clear. We do need quite a lot of thrust to move this plane, but I guess we're pretty heavy as well, even though 40% N1 should be the limit according to the manuals that I have for the MD-11, and we just needed about 50 to really get her to some sort of decent acceleration. So yeah, not 100% sure how realistic that is. Then again, if you have any good reference, then do put it into the comments below. Okay, so flaps 23 please. So that stuff is done, then we can trim. And we need 8.4 units. Here we go. Alright, let me know as soon as you're ready for the flight controls, please. Ready. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral. And stand by for the rudder. Lufthansa Cargo 8161, request crossing runway 15 left. Cross runway 15 left, Lufthansa Cargo 8161. Okay, we are clear to cross, the left side is clear, and the right side is clear. Okay, so I'll omit the rudder because we cannot disconnect it from the rest of our instruments in the TFDI at the moment. Okay, the takeoff data is confirmed. We are going to use nav, we are going to use profile, and we do not want GSX to block the click spot, thank you, and FMS speed as well. Alright, good. To confirm the takeoff briefing, it's going to be a left seat takeoff, runway 23, flaps 23, and noise abatement procedure 2, speeds 158, 172, 178, and the SID is going to take us straight ahead for an altitude of 1,100.
Cargo 8161, contact tower on 118.35.
11835, Lufthansa Cargo 8161. Alright, we are just going to stop her here, because here's the stop bar on.
Cargo 8161, can you repeat that?
118.35, Lufthansa Cargo 8161. Alright, MSA 3100, and that's all I have for the briefing. Any questions? No? Perfect. Then that's our briefing complete. So 124475 is departure. Toronto Tower, Lufthansa Cargo 8161 Heavy, ready for departure. We are cleared via Quebec.
Lufthansa Cargo 8161 Heavy, Toronto Tower, no delay. 757 on the 7-mile, final runway 23. Winds 180 at 8, gusting 15, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 23, cleared for takeoff, no delay, Lufthansa Cargo 8161. Yeah, we don't have to worry about an aircraft on the 7-mile final, even with this bit of an extra lineup that we need to do here. Alright, do you have any questions for the briefing? Nope? Perfect. I'll take the weather radar, you can have the terrain. I don't even see the traffic on TCAS yet. Okay. Takeoff checklist. Flight controls, checked. Flaps, 23. Spoilers, armed. Trims, 8.4 units. And EAD, checked. Takeoff checklist complete. Are you ready? Then we will make that a rolling takeoff. Takeoff. Stabilized. Stop takeoff thrust. Thrust set. 80 knots. Checked. V1. Rotate. Positive climb. Gear up. Nav. Autopilot. Come on, you should be turning right.
Lufthansa Cargo 8161, contact departure.
Over to departure, Lufthansa Cargo 8161. So, heading 245 and flaps up. Speed checked. Flaps up.
Lufthansa Cargo 8161, contact departure on 124.475, good day.
124.475, Lufthansa Cargo 8161, good day. Yeah, show a bit of patience. Toronto departure, Lufthansa Cargo 8161 Heavy, passing 2,200, climbing 5,000.
Lufthansa Cargo 8161 Heavy, Toronto departure, radar contact. Climb flight level 230, turn right heading 360, vectors to NAMGI, then on course.
Climb flight level 230, right heading 360, and direct NMGI, Lufthansa Cargo 8161. Alright, Namgi. Lufthansa Cargo 8161, request high speed below level 100.
Lufthansa Cargo 8161, climb flight level 230, heading 360, vectors to NAMGI. Lufthansa Cargo 8161 Heavy, approved. Maintain high speed below flight level 100.
High speed is approved, Lufthansa Cargo 8161. Slap 0. Okay, so heading 360 and then to Namgi. That's basically what we are doing. 23,000 is checked, and well, 12 degrees, then we don't have to worry about any of those clouds up there. So far so good. We don't have an after takeoff checklist in here. So let's just check. The flaps up, spoilers retracted, auto brake off, landing gear up. And then, before I forget about it again, here we go. Dial of flap selected, 15 degrees. Alright, beautiful.
Lufthansa Cargo 8161 Heavy, speed 250 knots.
Unable, Lufthansa Cargo 8161 Heavy. Nope. I'm not going to extend the flaps again. If you wanna fuck, you can do that, but do it in your break room or wherever.
Lufthansa Cargo 8161, state which instruction you cannot comply with.
Lufthansa Cargo 8161, we are unable for 250 knots. And can we turn direct to Namgi now? I mean, he kinda sat on course earlier, so I'm just gonna do it here.
Lufthansa Cargo 8161, maintain present speed, clear direct NAMGI.
Present speed, direct Namgi, Lufthansa Cargo 8161, thank you. Okay, direct intersection, Namgi, insert, nav available, nav. Okay. So that works for me. And I gotta say, this looks pretty impressive. Might be Toronto down there. Okay then, going through 10,000, the lights are going to remain on until 18. Or actually, we're in Canada, we don't have to, so lights off, including the logo light. Yeah, we don't have any supernumeraries today, so we are just going to turn the supernumerary signs to auto. And then the weather there, 100 miles out, not much to worry about for now. Engine anti-ice on. Master caution, no ice detected. That's fine with me. We are going to use it anyway. Okay, well, that's all I got for you for now. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us. Enjoy a beautiful sunrise, and then later on, maybe even sunset already. Depends a bit on when we are going to arrive. And then I see you all on the other side of the pond.
go. That's just how it go. That's just how it go. Now, you can't tell me shit now. That's just how it go.
Lufthansa Cargo 8161. Good evening, descending flight level 120 for flight level 100.
Alrighty, my friends, we're on approach to Frankfurt, and we picked a beautiful time of the day here. Now let's see.
Lufthansa Cargo 8161 Heavy, Frankfurt approach. Expect the ILS Yankee runway 25 right approach into Frankfurt.
Alrighty, Yankee 25 right, please read back. And then we can take a moment to talk about...
ILS Yankee runway 25 right approach into Frankfurt.
There we go, and then we can talk about the approach that we are about to fly. There's still a little bit of time available here before we got to commence further descent. We are now 6 hours and 53 minutes in the air, and looking at this, our fuel usage has actually been quite good. 12.6 on board now. We loaded like 2,000 kilos more, so 10.6 would have been the fuel if we loaded standard. So that's actually quite good. The SimRead profile seems to be rather accurate then. Alright, disregarding any of that though, let's go ahead and talk about the approach that we're about to fly. So we got an ILS Yankee approach, runway 25 right, which is on this chart 11-10 from the 10th of July effective. MSA 4,300. It's 8 degrees down in Frankfurt, winds calm and no clouds whatsoever. So overall really beautiful flying conditions. Overall, I mean, just look outside. This is fantastic, isn't it? Really, really fantastic. And I really gotta say, the MD-11 looks fantastic as well. I know. I'm using that word much too often today, but it's the truth. Alright, then let's go ahead and start talking about our approach for a little bit. Now, well, I'll tell you what, let's just go into the standard briefing. So we're flying the Dixat-1 Alpha arrival, which is going to end in radar vectors for an ILS Yankee approach runway 25 right. The minimum on this one is 561, and the go-around is a right turnout with a couple of crossing altitudes. And speeds climbing to 5,000 feet. Extra fuel on time, we now got plenty on board. Let's see what the box says. Extra time, well, 7.8. I don't believe that though. Final 1.5, that makes no sense. What does the flight plan say there? 3.3 alternate. Not allowed, okay. And final 3.2. So overall, if 3.2 is half an hour of flight time, 6.6 is what we need. We are using a ton, then we got about half an hour extra fuel. I mean, that's more than good enough, isn't it? So I would say it certainly is, especially for Frankfurt, where you've got like 4 runways available, 3 of which are certified for landings. Alright, then we are going to fly a flight director guided ILS Yankee approach runway 25 right. The approach is a little bit steeper at 3.2 degrees, flaps 50 for the landing because of the runway length, which isn't exactly much at 2,600 meters-ish, and stop margin should be, I don't know, 200 or 300 meters, something like that. We've got nothing special, we've got nothing non-standard for this approach, and I got no threats, do you? I mean, terrain is something, yeah, suppose you can just turn on the terrain display, but yeah, it's really nothing much to worry about. So, there's our field in sight. I can see that our parking position on Fox 212 is free. And then that's our briefing completed. So we'll fly to the downwind, and then we're eventually going to receive radar vectors into the final. Let's see, I count 1, 2, 3. Aircraft on final approach there. And, well, I think that's everything we need for the briefing. Lovely look on Wiesbaden right in front of us, and then Mainz next to it. Alright, I'm also going to go onto terrain since weather just is not going to play any role on this approach. Okay, cool. And then we are more or less finished over here, so let's see if we can already grab a further descent. Lufthansa Cargo 8161, any chance for further descent? In the real Frankfurt you don't need to ask there. They know what they're doing. But in the sim, always like to be sure.
8161, descend at your discretion.
Roger, descending altitude 5000, Lufthansa Cargo 8161.
Descending at our discretion.
Now that is not what I would expect in the real world, but hey, why not? Alright, idle climb 5000. Alright, set QNH. QNH 1013 cross-check, passing 9,600. Now. And going through 10,000, 10 checks. We'll put the logo light on already since it's getting dark. Then fuel is balanced and automatic, lights on, seatbelts on, angular bank 25. Well, automatic. And that's it. Alrighty, then let's go for the approach checklist, please. Which is system modes, auto, altimeters, QNH 1013. Approach checklist complete. Okay, I like it. Easy going. By the way, lovely radar descent here, 1,500, 1,600 feet a minute in idle. I wish the Airbus would be able to do that, but nope, it definitely isn't. So once we're abeam Delta Fox 430, I am going to ask if we can receive vectors to the final approach then. Let's see what's going to happen. Overall, should be easy and straightforward. Even though I gotta say, the level of banana does not exactly look accurate here. And we got 2,200 feet to go, so we're looking at roughly 6 miles. Should be somewhere over here, but not on the final approach there. Oh well, so be it. Lufthansa Cargo 8161 is ready to turn base. Let's see what ATC is going to do with it. Lufthansa Cargo 8161, request vectors to final approach. Vertical speed.
Lufthansa Cargo 8161, turn left heading 180, intercept localizer runway 25 right.
Right heading 180, intercept the localizer 25 right, Lufthansa Cargo 8161.
Lufthansa Cargo 8161, turn left heading 025 vectors for the ILS runway 25 right approach.
Oh, absolutely not.
Lufthansa Cargo 8161, QNH 1011. Cleared left turn heading 180, proceed via cargo by 326.
What? Say again. Alright, flaps extend. Well, slats extend.
Lufthansa Cargo 8161, QNH 1011. Cleared left turn heading 180, proceed via cargo by 326.
I don't have to understand what that proceed via has to mean, do I? Lufthansa Cargo 8161, we are turning right to establish on the ILS. Thank you. Okay, and then we can make that a slight further right-hand turn here.
Heavy, proceed direct Delta Foxtrot 480.
Aha!
Cleared for the ILS runway 25 right approach. Speed below 220 knots until established.
Direct Delta Foxtrot 480, cleared ILS Yankee 25 right, speed 220 or less until established, Lufthansa Cargo 8161. Alright, that's something I can work with.
Contact Frankfurt Tower on 136.5.
136.5, Lufthansa Cargo 8161. Localizer capture. Frankfurt Tower, Lufthansa Cargo 8161 Heavy, established ILS Yankee 25 right. Runway heading 246 set.
Lufthansa Cargo 8161 Heavy, Frankfurt Tower, Gude identified. Condor 1 November Zulu, hold short of runway 7 center.
Okay then, let's have a little bit of fun.
Holding short of runway 7 center, Condor 1 November Zulu.
And let's do this with manual thrust, please.
Cross runway 7 center.
Cross runway 7 center, Condor 1
Most
November
importantly,
Zulu.
without simply starting a climb. Okay, glide slope alive. Says speed 170. Typical Frankfurt restriction, 170 until 5. And flaps 50. Speed checked, flaps 50. Glide slope capture, go around altitude 5000 set. Flaps 28. So, getting a tiny bit left of center line, correcting for that. Even though, interestingly enough, the flight director is not commanding me to do it. But doesn't matter, do it anyway. Then we're just waiting for landing clearance. But apart from that, everything else is done. I like it. The MD-11 is surprisingly easy to fly in terms of procedures. Very much reminds me of an Airbus, just with a control column. But something that you really have to look out for when you're flying this is the rate of descent.
Clear to land, 25 right.
If you just look at this, even minor changes in pitch can have a pretty significant change in your vertical speed. And with an airplane that's approaching at these pretty high speeds like the MD-11 is doing, you could easily end up in a situation where you get an excessive rate of descent on short final. That's really something to be mindful about.
Lufthansa Cargo 8161 Heavy, Frankfurt Tower, wind calm. Runway 25 right, clear to land.
Runway 25 right, clear to land. Lufthansa Cargo 8161 Heavy.
2500.
Okay, gear down. Flaps 35.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Stop complaining.
Gear.
Alright, we fly 170 until 5, which is the normal speed they want here in Frankfurt. Lovely look at the city on the right hand side there, and all the skyscrapers.
Stabilizer function.
Okay, reaching 5 miles. Manage speed. Flaps 50. Speed checked. Flaps 50. Landing checklist. Landing gear down for green. Auto brake. Medium. Spoilers armed. Flaps 50. EAD. Green. Landing checklist complete. So you can see my control column movements on the bottom of the screen. As you can see, I'm trying to do fairly consistent single inputs.
1000.
And then just neutralize the stick as soon as you don't need it anymore. So slightly left of center line, correcting. Landing checklist is complete, all the procedures are done. 208 tons landing weight, so pretty heavy aircraft. And this is exactly the type of situation for which real-world MD-11 pilots said that the aircraft can be a bitch. You basically have a very small stabilizer on the aircraft, and especially in the cargo version, when you got a full loaded cargo, the plane can become pretty hard to steer when you're down here at the landing speed.
200. Minimum.
Continue.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Flare, idle, touchdown. Speed break up, thrust was normal. 100 knots. 80 knots. We'll take the next exit. 60 knots.
Cargo 8161, welcome to Frankfurt.
Manual brakes.
Contact ground on 121.805.
121.805, Lufthansa Cargo 8161. Okay, would you be so kind to tune that for me, please? Frankfurt Apron, Lufthansa Cargo 8161, request taxi to gate Foxtrot 212.
Lufthansa Cargo 8161, say again your request, please.
Request gate Foxtrot 212, Lufthansa Cargo 8161.
Lufthansa Cargo 8161, taxi to Cargo F212 via Papa 20, Papa 1, November 19er, November North, November 15, November 14. Good day.
Lufthansa Cargo 8161, roger, we take the Eastern Bridge and then November North, November 15, November 14, Lufthansa Cargo 8161. Okay, good. So, welcome to Frankfurt, no after landing checklist, and we go off to the right hand side. So, up the bridge, down on the other side, and then it's gonna be a little bit of fiddling. Let's get that parking stand west chart, that's the best one to give us that type of info. Come on, go down please. Parking stands west, here it is. If it would be so kind to load. Hello? Something interfering with my click spots? No, it's just not loading. Here we go. Okay, lovely. So we're coming down the other side here, November 15. Or basically Papa 1, November North, November 15, November Fox 212. And that works a lot better if you don't steer the airplane off the taxiway. That's the problem with having only... Why did it change the chart again? That's the problem with having only a single pilot over here. With a second pilot, this would be so easy. Second guy looks it up, directs the pilot flying, or pilot taxiing in these circumstances. That makes life so much easier. Especially on aircraft like the A350, where you can just pull up the chart, put it onto the lower MFD, and yeah, there you go. Then you have the chart available for both pilots straight away. But yeah, we are definitely a generation behind on the MD-11 for that. Okay, so off to the right, over here. So everything clear there? So Papa 1 onto November North. When we follow this one to the end, right, left, left, right, and then we're at the parking stands. Gonna love those little airport tours here. It's always interesting when you do these with the A330 as well. But the good thing is on the 330 you simply shut down an engine. The thing still has sufficient thrust to get you anywhere you want to go. But let's see, give me that menu. We're looking for Lufthansa cargo ramp, Fox 212, no follow me needed. Handling by shitport. Alright, 10 knots into the turn. Right side is clear, left side's clear, nobody coming our way. Okay, then it's going to be the next taxiway to the left hand side, that's November 14, and that is the entry into our apron. But look at how much thrust we need here, up to 50%. I wonder if that is accurate. To be honest, I kind of doubt it a little bit. So right side's clear, left side's clear. Those roads here are something that you always have to have an eye open in Frankfurt. Alright, start APU. So for the record, this time we started it using the APU power switch up here. Let's see what is going to happen and if we are going to have a blackout again. And it is starting, for the record. Okay, so our parking position is over there. Let's go down to 15 knots. Not looking too bad. It's interesting to get used to steering the MD-11, but once you get used to it and once you get used to how much thrust it needs, which I'm not sure is accurate, but we gotta get used to what we've got in the sim. And once you do get used to all of that, it's quite possible to steer her accurately. Alright. So, there's a marshal waiting for us down there. So, lights and radar are off.
Uniform taxi to the ramp.
Lufthansa 1 uniform taxi to parking via Papa 16 Papa 1.
Okay, parking brake set, APU avail.
Papa 16 Papa 1 Lufthansa 1 uniform.
1, 3, 2. Look at that, we're retaining power. Alright. So, all three engines below 20%. Give me that dome light, and then let's shut her down. Okay, APU bleed can go on and stay on. Transponder standby. As always, I forgot to detrim the aircraft. Interestingly enough, it still works. I'm not sure if it should. Well, let's check. Do we still have hydraulic power? No, we don't. So now it's up to you guys. Does the trim work electrically in the MD-11? Or does it work hydraulically and therefore shouldn't have worked? If anyone knows, do put it into the comments. I would definitely be interested in knowing that one. Okay then, parking checklist. Exterior lights. Set. Anti-ice. Off. Step trim. 3 degrees nose up. System status is checked. System modes, auto, spoilers retracted, flaps and slats up and retracted, fuel switches off, parking brake set, weather radar off, transponder standby, and APU air on. Parking checklist complete. Alright, then let's go ahead and get some unloading over here. And with that, my friends, thank you very much for flying along. As always, leave your feedback in the comments underneath the video. Let me know if you want me to do more of these full flights, or if you prefer me to fly different aircraft again. We can surely arrange for everything. But just gotta say, I do like the MD-11 quite a bit, so hey, why not just keep flying her? Thank you very much for watching. As always, like, comment and subscribe, and if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me a Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm looking forward to see you all again on the next one.